All right, here we go. Overdrive, off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker, and up on TSN 4 live from the RBC Canadian Open out here in beautiful Hamilton, Ontario. Bryan Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan. One of our favorite spots. We love Hamilton. Yep. We love Hamilton.
I love being here, and I made a friend and I made an enemy today in the first 15 minutes we were here.
Wow.
Fluff Cowan gave me a thumbs up in recognition for supporting him, and I shouted out to Aaron Badley, good luck this week, and he completely put his head down and blew me off and walked away. I will never cheer for Badley again.
Is that the guy with the long hair?
Yeah.
He hates your guts.
He really does. He was disappointed.
No,
he's out here working,
I
though.
get it.
Yeah.
But he finished his shot and he walked away, and I've been a supporter of Badley his whole career, and I just said, Bads, Canada loves you. Good luck this week. And he just kind of did a head shake and walked. But his caddy turned around and gave me the thumbs up.
Yeah.
I'm never making another comment to any of the guys out here.
You got a sympathy thumbs up. We've been here for about an hour and a half. We're already causing a scene.
Dude, I'm worried. I'm not gonna lie. Thursday and Friday, I'm worried.
We're gonna have a problem
if we start ranting and raving about the Leafs or changes or anything, and these guys are trying to hit a 5-iron 230, and we're screaming about the Leafs. There's going to be problems up here.
It's coming. I know it's coming because we're at the Rink Hole on 13. Yeah. There's going to be a great atmosphere, but today there's no one out here. Only the players are out here. Right. So we got here. Owen and I got here first, and Noodles, you were waiting for Doogie to swing back and pick you up.
Yeah.
Joel Damon's on the tee. Mark Hubbard, established PGA professionals, working. Okay,
Tell them what you heard, though.
Here's what happened. I think it was Hubbard had his peg in the ground, 5-iron in his hand, and they're working. Like their caddies are tracking thing. They have the trackmen out here.
Yeah. 210 front, 215
They
middle.
know exactly what they're doing. They're here to work,
they're working,
and they want to win. This guy is set, locked, and loaded, and he hears, "Hey, Noodles, I'm coming to get you." Doogie's
Doogie
yelling.
Yelling
behind them. They all look back and go, "Who the hell is Noodles? And who's that guy?"
Yeah.
And then they started mocking the whole scene. Damon steps up, tees off. The boys are like, "Good shot, Noodles. Good shot, Noodles." So that's like an inside joke already. Noodles has been established.
Well,
and Doogie's yelling and screaming, doing his job. He's a professional like he should be.
I know.
But worlds are colliding here at Hamilton.
It's not going to go well because you're right. I can envision Thursday, even Friday, because there's going to be people here, and you know they're going to be overserved. So it is Friday at 5:30. We are going to be yelling and screaming about.
But the worst part is,
anything.
Like the Leafs
Right
fourth line.
Yes.
Right before the players hit, everyone goes dead silent except for us.
Right.
So we're going to be the only one talking. And for anybody that doesn't know, doing this job, you talk a lot louder than you would.
You have to project.
Yes.
Like, forget the 13T. They're going to hear us on 6.
Yes.
Dude, we're so loud. It's going to ring out here. I've done golf tournaments, like events in the past with a megaphone. Hey, come on down to the fun hole. And guys are like, I can hear you in the parking lot. That is what is going to happen here.
Yeah.
Rory McIlroy is going to be on one. People giving a soft clap, and we're going to be yelling about Ryan Reeves and what they do with him in the future.
How can you give Max Domi a 7-year offer?
Exactly. You simply can't do that with Max Domi. And McIlroy is going to try to hit like a high fade off one, hearing that in the background. But listen, we're here to work. We're here to work. That's what we're doing. It's great to be out here.
We're going to do our thing until someone tells us not to.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we can do, man. The worlds are colliding, right? Overdrive's here. The PGA Tour's here. It's great to be out here.
But what if we developed like a whisper? What was it? Was it Tin Cup? Remember, he was trying to hit that ball through the bar out to knock that bird off, and the one guy's doing
That's the move, the whisper. Like
the
Jim
whisper.
Nance has a famous whisper, even when he's in a different part of the course. Like he could be in the Butler cabin at Augusta, and he'll whisper for effect.
Jimmy Nance was he was in an NFL stadium doing golf, and he did the whisper in the NFL stadium.
Right, exactly.
He wasn't even on site.
Here he is, lining it up for birdie. It's like you're
in Kansas City.
Kilometers away.
I don't think I'm capable of a whisper.
We can't whisper.
Like I don't.
We're not going to whisper.
But it would be hilarious if we did. We're literally
try it.
Stuart Skinner's got to have that save.
Got to have that last night.
Got to have that.
Great play by Jason Robertson. That was a very savy play.
I'll tell you what, last night at the Edmonton Oilers, I called the McDavid game.
You did. You called it. I was laughing because after the first 4 minutes, I'm like, McDavid's going to have 6 points tonight.
Yeah, and I thought
this
this is the McDavid game. This is what needed to happen. It's all falling into place.
It was the Jason Robertson game.
It was the Jason Robertson game.
Then the second period, it's like, what happened to the McDavid game?
Watching that was a wild experience because Edmonton was so good early. They just skated them out of the rink.
Yes.
They get on the board immediately. The place is going nuts. McDavid scores. He's battling for position. Like, everything is coming together. They're up 2-0.
It's aces.
It is like you go into the first intermission thinking, guys, you killer instinct, but continue to skate, continue to check, continue to play. And this game is over. And I can't recall seeing a polar opposite like that to that extreme. I could not believe
it was
that 10-minute run to start the second period was absurd.
Shots were 14-0.
I think even McDavid said that was the worst period we could have played.
It was outrageous.
It was outrageous. Now, not that I'm going to pat myself on the back, but at 2-0, they get the power play. And I'm sitting in the viewing room there with Cheryl and Dregs and Puffy and them, and I said, they need a goal here because that'll dagger them. Because if McDavid's flying and their power play gets going, now nothing's stopping them. They didn't get the goal. They didn't really get that many looks. And then at 2-0, I said, you know what, Dallas they're not out of it.
There's only one question left, Jamie, and I think it is, you know how sometimes in a series a team will find something and then just stomp on you and crush you? The worry for the Edmonton Oilers is that the Dallas Stars found it, and it's like, watch out now. But to the Oilers' credit, even the last series, they got it back together.
Yeah.
They were down and out by the Vancouver Canucks. They came back. They won Game 6 to Game 7. Can they do it again? I just worry about the Dallas Stars finding something with Hintz coming back into the lineup.
He looked good last night.
They did.
Dude.
He's a good player. Like, they're a good team. Like, both teams are good teams, and they're close. So it's going to come down to what you were laying out yesterday. Oh, just that one detail, one something, whether it's McDavid. If it's Ottinger's not getting enough love. We talked about him afterwards, kind of like he's probably like going into the series. I thought, okay, Draisaitl would be my Conn Smythe. I'm shifting more like on this side. Obviously, I'm looking at Ottinger and going, this guy hasn't had an off game. This guy he doesn't give up that goal, that fourth goal. Skinner has to have. Ottinger hasn't given up that bad goal that like hurts his team at the wrong time.
Well, you can tell that the two teams are dealing with a different psyche and a different history in net, where Chris Knoblauch has to come out and actually answer whether or not Skinner's playing Game 4. And, of course, he confirmed that. No one's asking Peter DeBoer.
Right.
No one's going up to DeBoer and being like, you thinking of moving off Ottinger for Game 4? I mean,
I think it was Ottinger early in the playoffs where they lost 5-1. But they weren't going to wedge.
No, it's not going to happen.
It's Ottinger's job, and
that's
his
your guy.
job. But the history, which we saw 10 days ago, it was Pickard, and now it's Skinner. I felt bad for Skinner on one thing, is I think he's played well recently, and I thought he gave his team a chance. Because I thought the Oilers were completely out to lunch for about 10 minutes last night.
That first 10 minutes of the second period was outrageous. It was 5-on-3.
That's the only way to describe it.
It was like they had the goalie pulled. Like Dallas was just like parade after parade after parade.
Like
it was wild.
Which is the opposite. I don't know what you guys thought watching it, but I'm like, Edmonton is going to learn from this, and they're going to squash them right now and make a statement. And they flipped the switch.
They couldn't play. They couldn't get it back. That was the difference.
Yes, that was the difference. So, more on the game last night. We got another one tonight. I'd say it's a borderline must-win for Florida tonight. And obviously we'll be teeing that up throughout the afternoon. Mike Johnson will join us later this afternoon. But there's been a lot of coaching news throughout the NHL recently. Obviously up here in Toronto, Craig Berube was announced as the new head coach last week. And the New Jersey Devils, they pounced quickly. And they got their new guy, and they officially announced him today. I guess it was last week they announced Sheldon Keefe as their new head coach, but they unveiled him to the media today, and he can't escape us. He's got to come on with us. He's in Jersey now, and we're bothering him, and he's nice enough to join us. Here's the new head coach of the New Jersey Devils, Sheldon Keefe. How you doing, Sheldon?
I'm doing very well, guys, and I was to see the itinerary for the day. See that after about 7 hours of media, you guys were going to be there right there at the anchor. So here we are. I saved my best for you.
Yeah, we appreciate you doing this. It sounds weird, the new head coach of the New Jersey Devils, Sheldon Keefe. Has it sunk in yet for you? It's been a whirlwind the last few weeks, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it has been a whirlwind, and it's not quite rolling off the tongue here yet. But I'll tell you, it's been great being out here. This is our first time with the full family coming out here, but my wife and I were out here, I don't know, I guess a couple weeks ago. We were out here to look around and meet with some people and such, and each time we've been here, it's been tremendous. There's great people and a lot of good things happening in New Jersey that's led us to here to today, and it's been an exciting time, but no question it's happened quickly, and we've been all through all sorts of different emotions and such to lead us to this point, but it's an exciting time.
Sheldon, what kind of message you want to pump out there the first time you meet with the guys? I mean, I've been a part of a couple coaching changes mid-season, and people walk in the room, they want to make their presence known, they want to get everyone's attention. What kind of vibe do you want to throw out there with the players of the New Jersey Devils?
Well, Jeff, I think the first thing is I want to make sure I'm using the time in the off season here to get to know the guys as well as and a sense from them of where they're at. Early indications are that they're definitely not happy with last season. It's not sitting well with them, and they're excited for what's ahead. I think they felt it, back in 22-23. They had such a tremendous season and were building something great, and then take a step back, which is a sign that things maybe weren't sustainable at that time, and we want to build something that's sustainable, and that was really about it. If I was to send a message, it's like, well, let's get to work here. We want something that's sustainable and gives us a chance to compete, not just in the playoffs every year, but a chance to win in the playoffs and get through rounds. So let's get to work. So that's really what I'll spend my time here in the off season, and ultimately, leading to what'll be an exciting training camp.
So without giving us the gory details, you have an opportunity where, you leave Toronto and you still have a couple of years left on your deal. So you pretty much could have just relaxed and taken a step back and just decompressed. And all of a sudden it's, getting leaked that you're heading to New Jersey. Was it a tough decision? Did a lot of things cross your mind to maybe just, decompress and take some time off? Or did you want to jump right back in because you found the right situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you sort of talk through the different, emotions and decisions I was making through it. You get let go, and you have a pretty good sense that that's what's coming. So it certainly didn't catch me off guard, and was prepared for it mentally that way. But having 2 years left, and uncertainty of what lies ahead, and then also having a young family that's very much entrenched in the Toronto area there, and I've got kids that are 12 and turning 14, and basically all that they've known, certainly through their time in school and sports, has been our home there. So it was something where I frankly would have been at ease if nothing came about, and I was gonna spend some time to myself to regroup and refresh and spend quality time with family. So I would have been okay with that. And certainly going into it, there was a sense, just given how quickly things came about, that I was unsure about, how to handle it. And got pretty quickly, was, probably within just a few hours of being let go by Tree, that he was calling me on my phone, and I had to make the decision whether or not I wanted to answer it. But I did, and it was him to let me know that Tom Fitzgerald had already reached out and was looking to contact me. So that was great, and then Tree through the whole thing has been terrific. But you go through the different emotions of it, and credit to Tom, because while I think he was made it very clear that I was high on his list, and he was willing to be patient. It's one thing to do that, but another to sort of, sit back and give me ample time to process things. And with each conversation I had with him, I grew more and more excited. And then ultimately, as I said, a couple weeks ago there, whatever it was, that my wife and I came out to New Jersey and got a chance to meet with the ownership group here, led by David Blitzer, just a tremendous guy with great love for the Devils and passion for hockey and sports, and he and Josh Harris with their group, and having a sport, a team in every single major sport here in North America. You can tell they've got a real passion for what they do, and Tom Fitzgerald's belief in me and his vision for the group and the team just makes it very clear that this was a great opportunity, and as a hockey coach, you want to get back involved.
We're chatting with Sheldon Keefe. What will you miss about coaching in Toronto?
Well, what I'll miss undoubtedly is just tremendous people. That's the biggest thing. And that's not to discount how much of an honor and privilege it is to coach the Maple Leafs, and the great challenge that we had there. That we failed to deliver a Stanley Cup. But there's just tremendous people there, and after being let go, which was a first for me, the messages that you receive, and as you learn, not just from current players, but past players that have been with you and have moved on to different organizations, or staff members that are there, and you just start to get messages from people, and in some cases from people that seems like they maybe had things they've been wanting to say to you, but haven't, for whatever reason, and they send you a very nice message that gives you a true sense that you've been able to have a positive impact on them. Those things are memorable. So I got lots of love for people in the organization there, both players and staff, and wish them the absolute best when they're not playing New Jersey. And from our time there, but I think bringing some closure to it and a chance to turn the page and look ahead here now to a new opportunity is exciting for me.
Do you see, I guess, how would you compare or contrast the Devils roster to the Maple Leaf roster you just coached? Do you see any similarities between the two?
Well, I think there's I don't know that there's real similarities other than to say there's a high skill level that's involved throughout the team. I think that would be it. The team that's, built itself up some real high-end talent through the draft. But it's a unique opportunity and different in lots of other ways. I'm excited about the mix of talent both on forward and defense, and how we're going to be able to get that group connected both offensively and defensively and build something great together. I think there's lots of cap space in there and ability to retain players for multiple years and get something sustainable and consistent. I think that continuity is important to build a real true team concept, and looking forward to getting to work at that.
With Sheldon Keefe, and you said today at your press conference, you feel you're a better coach today than obviously when you arrived in the NHL, and I don't think anyone would doubt that. And your regular season statistics up here were outstanding. I mean, some of the truly greatest points percentages of all time, not only in Leaf history but NHL history. In terms of the playoff history, like how do you approach that in Jersey, where it's a similar scenario? They're trying to get over the top. Like you mentioned, last year they made the playoffs. They felt like they had a really good team. I think the expectation will be you guys will return to the playoff this year or be very close to it. How do you learn from the playoff history here in Toronto and apply it to New Jersey moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly lessons to be learned there. If there's anything that really stands out, it's hard to win in the NHL. There's no doubt about that. I think at the same time, that you do recognize just how thin the margins are and how close games are, and how everything matters. Details matter, and the details really start in terms of how you approach things in training camp, how you approach things from the beginning, how you build your group, how you hold your group accountable to a high standard. All those sorts of things are incredibly important, but I don't question my own ability to be able to navigate a team through playoffs. Every level I've coached in, I've been parts of teams that have played very deep into the playoffs, won multiple championships at various levels. I don't have any question in my own ability to navigate through that. I've got great confidence in it, and certainly each experience and scenario that I went through in Toronto was another one that I'd add to my list. As you go through something like this, you start to reflect on what you've been through as a coach, and I think I still sit as I think the second youngest coach in the NHL, and not just 5 years in the NHL, but I've coached over 1,500 hockey games at various levels. I've been through a lot, and all those sorts of things give me great confidence, and ultimately is a big reason why I decided to just jump right back into this and tackle this new opportunity.
Sheldon, a lot of love was given to you for the video that you shot saying goodbye, not just a generic note or whatever. It was from the heart.
It was a great backdrop, too.
Well, that's where I was going to go.
Great backdrop. I love that. The kids love it, too.
How do you choose that backdrop as opposed to like something grittier or something like that? Did you put much thought to it, or are you just standing out on the edge of a dock and pouring your heart out? Well,
you know what? That's it was actually, so I had a pretty good sense of what was coming that day. And I didn't sleep much the night before, kind of woke up in the middle of the night and, started reflecting on what's ahead and how you handle yourself going forward. Bringing some closure to the whole situation was important to me, as was just getting, my message out, the way that I wanted it to be, unedited, without anything too performative. It's just me and my cell phone, and had a pretty good sense of the things I wanted to say, and like I said, bring some closure to it. Thank people, because ultimately, I'm incredibly grateful for how I was treated and the opportunity that I had, and take responsibility for our inability to come through. And that's why you force teams to make decisions like they had to. But in terms of the location, that's actually not very far from my house. That's Lake Ontario. Just a quick walk down to the water, the lakeshore, and a bit of my happy place where I want to go to clear my head at times, go for a walk down there. So it was a pretty natural decision to head down there to shoot such stuff, and just turned out it happened to be a beauty of a day. It's not always so great down there, but that was one of those days you want to capitalize on it. So it was just fitting, because as I said, there's some days where wanted to clear the head and get to a little bit of peace and quiet, and I would go for a stroll down there. So that's where I headed, and I actually went right from my meeting with Tree to there, because I had a pretty good sense of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to handle that situation. One take, or did you have to do 3 or 4 takes? You know what? It was 2 takes. And then I was ready to head. I was ready to take off, and I watched it back, and there was one piece I failed on. I headed back and got a 3rd take done. It was 3 takes.
Kiefer, if you knew it was coming, you should have just did it before the meeting and just fire it out there right after. Well, I could have preempted the whole thing perhaps and just skipped the meeting altogether. But, right. But like I said, it's ultimately understood where the organization is coming from. I got lots of love for people in that organization, how I was treated, from Larry Tannenbaum to Brendan Shanahan, all the way down the list. Brad Shillitty coming in and believing in me after a very exhaustive process last summer to not only bring me back, but give me a 2-year extension and show belief in me. And ultimately, we didn't push through in the playoffs like we had aspired to do, so it leads to a decision like this. But I'll be far better for everything I've been through in Toronto, and excited for what's ahead in New Jersey.
Yeah, we're certainly looking forward to seeing what you bring to New Jersey. We'll be tracking it closely as always. Congratulations on the new job, and we really appreciate you doing this today. Thank you for this.
My pleasure, guys. And now they'll let me on the radio a little more often, so I'll be happy to join you whenever.
Once a week, Pat. We're going to have a segment once a week.
It's been a few years. It's good to have you. Good to have you back. We appreciate it.
All right,
Sheldon.
All right, guys. Enjoy your summer.
You got it. You too. Sheldon Keefe. It's been about 3 years, I think, since Sheldon's been on.
I said, I'm like, didn't we just have him on?
No, it's been a while.
No, it's 3 years ago. I'm
it's been a while.
Yeah, you misfired on that one. You said, well, he's been on recently, right? And he said, no, 3 years
it's been
ago.
a while. Not that we're counting or anything, but now he's in Jersey, and he's
weekly
he's like,
segment.
I'll come on, no problem.
Weekly hit.
When do you need me? I'm happy to come on.
I'm happy for. He landed on his feet. 4-year deal, more money.
Good team.
Yeah,
for sure.
But that, he should be very proud of his accomplishments here. He coached the Toronto Maple Leafs, and instead of being he was out of work, seemed like 2 hours.
If I knew I was getting fired, I would have blasted that video out at 5 a.m. and then walked in the office and said, "How's it going?"
Right, or live stream the
got
whole
something to tell me?
But
tree
you
living
can't.
thing.
What if you blast that out and Tree's like, "Yeah, I really wanted to offer you an extension or
Right, I thought
even
you did
more."
great.
Yeah, I thought you did great.
You burn yourself.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that. But
Listen, Sheldon handled it as classy and as well as possible, and I think it speaks to his confidence, and he said that multiple times. Like, he's a confident guy. He believes in his abilities to coach in the NHL, and I'm sure it would have been very gratifying. You know, it's tough when Tree calls you up, and he said it. He knew it was coming. When they missed the playoffs, he knew it was coming, and when he got the call. But it sounds like Tom Fitzgerald called within like 5 minutes of him being fired, saying, that's our guy.
Yeah.
Like, not even an interview process, which I'm sure they went through as a formality. But basically, Fitzgerald said, you can have this job if you want it.
Yeah.
Which would speak to him being
sought after.
Officially unemployed for like a week and a half, but unofficially employed for like 5 minutes.
That's what I mean. Like
that's a quick turnaround.
Sheldon gave them the Fluff Cowan as opposed to the Badley.
Instead of the Aaron Badley, where he put his head down and pretended he didn't.
Aaron Badley hates your guts. He doesn't hate my guts because I didn't yell at him.
If he's with a Canadian, I'll only cheer for the Canadian player, not Badley. That's what I'm doing this week.
Yeah, Badley's out, man. He's out.
Well, he reacted probably.
I just wanted a thumbs up. I said, Bads, as a Canadian supporter, good luck this week. And he just said, no way.
Yeah.
Do people call him Bads?
Yeah,
is that
that's
his nickname? I don't know. He acted like you had done something to him, like he hates your guts.
Well, he's, again, like we said off the top, he's here to work. People are here to work, and you're bothering people.
Remember
it's a
that practice round. He hit a good shot. I said, Bads, let's go. Let's have a great week.
Yeah, he probably could have been a little bit more gratuitous. Like, he could have turned around and said, all right. And then when he kept walking, said, what a loser that guy is.
Yeah.
Like, but
I can take that because I do that myself a lot.
Right. Hey, how are you? What a loser. God, that guy drives me nuts.
He could Monty grin screw you.
Yes, he could have given you the Monty grin screw.
And I would have taken it with love.
Yes.
I would have said, I know you're grin screwing me right now, but I love it.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a grin screw.
Yeah.
But you just got to know the time and place.
You got to understand that that's exactly what's happening.
A few of those this week, I'm sure.
There'll be a lot of them. Guys, hey, how are you, you loser? See you later. All right. Mike Johnson coming up later this afternoon. Confirm or deny coming up. We are live at the RBC Canadian Open. Our good friend Laurence Applebaum will join us around the table. Who do we have coming up this week? We got major winners. We got PGA Tour winners. Got loads of Canadians. Rory McIlroy. Got everything you're looking for up here at Hamilton. So we'll roundtable with Laurence. We'll set up the week with him. Confirm or deny still to come. Mike Johnson still to come. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4. All right, we are live at the Hamilton Golf and Country Club RBC Canadian Open. It is a beautiful afternoon out here. A bunch of players coming through here. We are on the Rink Hole. You can see it on TSN 4 right there. 13, playing about 230. Guys hitting 5-irons. Your boy Aaron Badley hitting a 5-iron, and he loved it. He hit it flush.
It just goes to show you that this game, for these levels of players, it's all about how they can handle the weekend. Because they all hit it the same.
Yeah, they all
mash their drivers down the middle. They all hit a 5-iron to 10 feet. It's just who can handle the pressure, who can make putts, because they all just dial it in. Every shot is, and this is just a practice round, but who can control all of it when it starts and you put the peg in the ground? You got a pencil and a scorecard.
Absolutely. Our friend Laurence Applebaum, CEO of Golf Canada, joining us. Do you have the same analysis, Laurence? Like, you'd hit a 5-iron on this hole, right?
Listen, I haven't seen how this is going to play yet for the tournament. But Jeff's right. You walk down the range, and every guy is just striping it.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't leave whatever target is they're shooting at. Everything's the same. It's just who can do it a little bit better on the weekend.
I'm really pulling for Aaron Badley. He's my guy.
We love Aaron Badley.
Do you know, there are a whole bunch of guys like Aaron Badley who have played here before, who've come back, who love it up here. And they're looking for just a little bit of love. So
I tried to give it to him. But maybe we'll get him on set one day.
Might
maybe
not have
tomorrow.
heard you. I don't think he heard you. You know, it's funny though.
You watched it, did he?
I think he heard you. I think he thought you were being sarcastic and mocking him, and that's probably
maybe there was a tone to his voice.
Dude,
that's
why would
what
I be? I've been a golf. I've been watching.
Who yells out "Hey, Bads" for everyone in Canada? We're rooting for you on 13. Like, there's no way he thought.
I thought it was a nice thing to say. I'm a golf fan. I've been watching Bads for 20 years on tour. He's been out here a long time.
What is the movie? Is it Bobby Boucher? You can do it.
Yeah,
that's what he was. You were literally
I'm
yelling
keep
that.
doing it until Thursday.
All right.
I got one question though, because we got Laurence here.
Yeah.
You were down at the Masters, right?
Yes, I was.
Need to from somebody else, because we always hear, Hayes was strutting around. I actually need to ask Laurence, like, what was this guy like when he was down at the Masters? Was he being a hero down there? What was he like?
There's nobody who knows this guy more than you two.
That's right.
He presents as a pretty cool customer, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing really rattles him too much.
Yeah.
The man got on site and he was discombobulated. you were out of sorts.
I was.
You were
through excitement or just Bryan
I was in
Hayes
awe.
rap?
I was in awe. I was finally at Augusta National. What do you want from me? I mean, you know what it's like when you walk in there for the first time.
I legit almost started crying.
I was in what's wild is we're here. Tim's with us, right? Tim McLaughlin, our boy Timmy. Tim's there with me. We're walking in. Lawrence, because Lawrence is a big shooter
yeah,
guy.
exactly.
So Lawrence is like, all right,
shaking
you guys are out of here. Lawrence,
kissing babies,
he's
doing all
got
that.
meetings.
Yeah.
He's meeting with people, and I'm just sitting there shaking. And there's the first tee, 9th green, 10th tee. It's 18th green. It's an amazing setup. Like it's heaven on earth.
So you're having this experience, which for a lot of people, whether it's the national championship or you're at Augusta, everything's coming together. And then all of a sudden, Larry Fitzgerald walks by.
Yes.
He looks at me and goes, and Larry Fitzgerald is here.
That's the sports host. That's the sports host.
Man, he looks like he could still run off 10 touchdowns and 1,500 yards. Like that guy looks like he could run a post route today and catch 12 touchdowns. Like he is a beast, man.
I love it.
But we have a date now, though, for our boy Taylor Pendrith,
yes,
who won the CJ Cup at Byron Nelson, punched his ticket to Augusta, so we already know we're probably going to be 4, maybe 5 guys at Augusta, Canadians. So it's really exciting to be thinking about already Augusta 2025.
Right, absolutely. Put it in your calendar right here, right now. You heard that. We're live on the air. Doogie, note that, please.
Laurence, what could we possibly do this year to top what happened last year? Is there anything out there with that finish with Nick Taylor and just the great celebration? Like, what could there possibly be with an Encore?
So there's a story that our tournament director tells that when the number 1 player in the world, Dustin Johnson, won the RBC Canadian Open, we're like, nothing can beat 2018. It was great. Then next year, 2019, number 1 player in the world, Rory McIlroy, he just torched. He played so well. It was Rory on a high. Then he follows it up with a repeat. Then Nick. So we've been thinking about a couple ideas. We need a few things to happen. I saw Tommy Fleetwood.
Yes, our boy Tommy. I love Tommy.
We saw Tommy, and I will tell you that there are a couple Canadians in particular. Adam Hadwin played really well here in 2019.
Does he have his clubs yet? Can we confirm that his clubs are in Hamilton?
Please tell me.
Are they here?
Does he got them?
Like, we're worried about that.
I do a few things for the organization. At the moment, I don't have all my fingers on the pulse of the club situation, but I will report back.
Please do.
Yeah, we need to know by the end of the show.
Because we will torch whoever we have to torch because we need Adam Hadwin dialed in. I mean, the guy's playing unbelievable right now. Okay, so we got Hadwin. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No.
Hadwin's rolling. You got Nick Taylor coming back.
He walks. Continue.
Yes, he walks. There it is. Mike Krapp, our boy. We like Mike Crapper, who is big Golf Canada guy. He's got his cap dialed in, right? He's a +4. He said he's a stick.
Yeah, he is.
Laurence Applebaum with us, CEO of Golf Canada. So Hamilton, you mentioned Rory in 19. Obviously, he loved this place. The players love playing here. Classical course, too, right? Like, you don't see that often on the PGA Tour.
Well, that's what we're hearing from a lot of the guys. Corey Connors was up here. Obviously, he's somewhat local from Listowel, not super local like Mackenzie, but he's been around. He came up and played a practice round. He played with the general manager, Alan Carter, and he came back and he just said, the guys are going to love it. They're going to love it. And I'm like, tell me why that is. And he's like, first of all, it's classic, 100-year-plus-old course. It's in amazing shape, but it's the elevation, it's the changes, it's the run, it's challenging par 3s, only 2 par 5s, par 70. It's going to be a test, but it's going to reward all the clubs in your bag. And he goes, the guys really enjoy that. And we have a record 28 Canadians tipping it up on Thursday, which is incredible for our program. It's incredible. We're so excited to see so many guys who are doing so well. So it's going to be a great celebration.
Awesome.
How hard is it or difficult is it to make sure all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, like caddies are taken care of, the guys have stuff to do, places to eat, whatever. Like, who puts all that work into making sure everything is dialed in like that?
I don't know.
Is it you?
Obviously, well, listen, we've got an amazing tournament director. You know, Brian Crawford. He was.
We saw him on the way in today. He's cool, calm, and collected, right? He's like, I'm dialed, man. We're ready to rock.
He had his game face on.
He was like, it looked like he was walking into the ring to fight Mike Tyson in 1989.
He was dialed in.
So he's a local. He's living in Ancaster. He's a local boy, and he loves this tournament more than anything. He's so proud. The team has done an amazing job. It's the biggest build-out ever. But it is kind of awe-inspiring, the scope and the scale. If we get some nice weather, we're going to have 140,000 plus fans here, our biggest fan turnout ever with amazing concerts. And so it's all those small things you start to think about. It's like, where are people going to book hotels from? And but it all comes together. The organization bonds. We've got 2,300 volunteers who are, taking days off work and time out of their lives to come here and quiet the crowd and direct people and park and service the game. And so it's really quite an amazing. That's what the amazing thing about golf is. It does bring people together.
Laurence Applebaum with us, the CEO of Golf Canada. We're live at the RBC Canadian Open out here in Hamilton. You mentioned the amount of Canadians that are here, the course, how people are feeling about it. I think it's going to set up beautifully. I think the players are going to be jacked. The significance of having McIlroy's commitment. Like Rory, no one moves the needle more than him. I mean, outside of maybe Tiger, but Tiger's not an everyday player on tour.
He's got that Canadian connection, it seems like, too.
Yeah,
he's loved everywhere, but it just seems like him, Canada, the victories, there's that
no
real
one bigger.
connection.
There's no one bigger than Rory McIlroy.
Well, you guys talk about it often, I've heard, and you're right. Remember in 2019, he just had this energy. Raptors took it deep into the playoffs, took a championship.
Right.
And he had that energy from the crowd. It stuck with him. And circling back, funny enough, to Augusta, who do I run into in the pro shop at the Masters? It was Rory. Sort of looks at me, sort of semi-recognized me. I go, are you looking forward to come up north? He's like, I heard about the renovation. How is it? And I kind of stumbled through a few words, but he was genuinely excited. You're exactly right. He's one of a very small handful of athletes who can move the needle like him. You have to see it live. Like, you have to hear the sound off the club. You have to see him, the way the crowd interacts, the way it is on property. It's Tiger-esque. It's not probably the height of Tiger, but Rory is a special guy, and he's a really genuine guy, too. So it's great to have him. He's been here so many times now. It's been really nice.
How is Nick Taylor handling, returning to his home country and soil as a champion? I mean, this week it's 52 weeks in the making. He won about a month and a half, 2 months ago. But that putt, the win, beating Tommy Fleetwood at Oakdale, it'll never be forgotten. He comes back as the triumphant Canadian. What are you seeing from Nick, hearing from Nick, and how prepared is he for being a marquee guy this week, considering he's the returning champ?
Yeah, I think what I hear from the guys, and especially like a late winner like Taylor Pendrith, is you're so excited. You've hit a height that you've never hit before, but the week after, it's a blur. Taylor mentioned, he's like, listen, I was on the range. All of a sudden his life changed, and all of a sudden he's at the PGA Championship. Every guy is coming up to him on the range when he's trying to get his work in. Everyone wants to congratulate him. He feels so good, but it interrupts your process. And I think that is a microcosm for what Nick experienced in the last year. He's been overwhelmed by the love, support, and attention. He's part of the logo. We have a bobblehead that we put out, Nick. But he is such a gentleman. He's such a good guy, and I think he could probably say himself right now he could use a little bit of a spark. This course sets up pretty nice for Nick. It kind of suits many parts of his game. And so I think he's coming into Hamilton looking for, he's got some mojo. He had it, and he's asked about you, Brian. He wants to know how you're feeling.
Good friends.
Yeah.
Good friends. Dear friends, both of these
Yes.
guys.
He actually said, he goes, how's Brian feeling going into the Pro-Am? And better yet, he goes, Jeff O'Neill looks great right now.
There you
Wow.
go. See? Everyone's buzzing about this guy, man. He looks good, feels good, plays good.
Yeah.
He turn it on golf balls.
And then maybe
Hey,
the
you guys
third.
mentioned Larry Fitzgerald. My whole goal in all of this is because the comment you made about Larry Fitzgerald, you said he could probably still play right now. Do Do you know what in the last 15 years no one has ever said to me?
You look like you could play right now.
But a month ago, somebody said to me, I met a scout in the gym. He goes, man, you're looking good. You look like you could still play right now. I said,
no
yes,
way.
it's taken 15 years.
There you go. There you go.
The last thing I have to say is I get asked more, what is Jamie going to wear this week?
Well, I've got a vest on, my golf vest.
He looks like a golfer, does he
I
not?
do, yeah.
Like you look dialed in, dude.
Two-tone. I'm early on. I wasn't sure about the weather, so I was a little concerned.
That's the prototypical outfit for like the hangers around at golf events. I don't know what they do. They're on the range. They're on the putting green.
All I need is a range
They're just looking
finder.
around at something. You know the guy I'm talking about. They're everywhere, man.
So this might be a viral moment for the show, but pull up a picture of Camille Villegas and Jamie McLennan side by side. I just saw him on the range.
Really?
Yeah.
He might be wearing one size smaller, but he's tight. He's fitted. He looks great out there. Do you know
the name. Yes.
Villegas, man. He reads putt. You read putts like Villegas.
I do.
Man. You get right down there and
spider
slink.
putt.
I love it.
You know what? You guys were talking about Nick Taylor, and all I can remember of a year ago is watching it, and what was the emotions going through with you? Because you were right there, and then all hell broke loose.
Well, and Hadwin gets
chicken wing, but you were right front and center every time. And that putt was going in. If you look at the replay, it's like you and Hadwin and everybody kind of rushed the green. I mean, what type of emotion goes through your mind when you're seeing that happen?
Well, I first of all, I finally have to apologize on national TV to say I'm sorry for being a little too exuberant at that moment.
Why? What are you talking about?
There you are.
Look at how fired up you were.
There's Hadwin. I love it.
So the two things that I sort of great memories was my wife Jen was with me and she's sort of watching what's going on, and a member of our staff who was really thoughtful starts to put champagne at the base of a couple of the Canadians' feet. And the playoffs in process. And I'm thinking, this is going to be the saddest moment of our lives.
Man, it's never too late to put booze there, man. Just put the booze there.
Yeah, but it could have been the kiss of death right there.
I was thinking, this is going to be the saddest moment ever when we're cleaning it up. And then all of a sudden, when he struck the putt, Corey Connors literally says, it's good, about 10 feet of the 72-foot putt. Like he goes, it's good.
Is that when you reached down and grabbed the boost and deleted it?
And just having all the Canadians there, having Mike there, having a Corey there, having Hadwin there, all that camaraderie. And I was so in the moment of it all. Do you remember the European players? A bunch of them had come out to support?
Absolutely.
So I see Justin Rose come out, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know Justin Rose was such good friends with Nick Taylor. But he was there for Tommy Fleetwood, obviously. And so he sinks the putt, and it goes crazy, and pandemonium ensued. And now in the Canadian Golf Hall of Fame, we've got Adam's hoodie along with Nick's
I saw
winning.
that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. All right, Laurence, well, we made it, man. It feels like do you relax now? Do you breathe that we're here and we're in Hamilton? I know it's going to be a busy week, but it's got to be gratifying that all this effort goes into it, and we're here, and it's go time.
Well, honestly, seeing you guys here on the Rink Hole, you've become part of the legacy of this place. It's really good to have you guys. We appreciate all the support.
Guys, I want you to watch something right here. Watch this. Adam, good luck this week, bud. Thanks, man. He said thanks, John. See that? Yes.
He just grin-screwed you on
Hadwin. There you go. You made up for it. So now you're a Hadwin fan.
Yeah.
Well,
we all are. We all are.
I'm a massive
we love
Hadwin.
Hadwin.
I'm a massive
We love
Hadwin.
Hadwin.
We love him.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you having us out. We love being here. It's going to be a great week. Like, it's just going to be an awesome week. And the weather's setting up beautifully Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll be out there. The Pro-Am tomorrow. We'll be coming through here.
Can I make one shameless plug?
Yes.
We have an amazing concert series put on by SiriusXM. We have Loud Luxury Thursday night. The first time we've done a DJ hosting a party on Thursday night. Our Lady Peace on Friday night.
Nice.
Yes, you got it.
And then Josh Ross on Saturday, and it's included with your ticket. So we're getting close to a sellout on the weekend, but there's still tickets available. But thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Absolutely. RBCCanadianOpen.com, right? RBCCanadianOpen.com. There you go. All right, Laurence, great seeing you. There's Laurence Applebaum, CEO of Golf Canada. Adam Hadwin in the background giving shout-outs to the boys.
Said thanks, Jeff.
He said thanks, Jeff, in particular, with a G. He thinks it's Jeff with a G.
Another thumbs up
Called
from
him
the caddy.
Jerry. Called him
Thank you.
Jerry.
Yeah,
I am making moves here on set.
Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4. Overdrive continues, brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Mike Johnson in about 10 minutes. Confirm or deny later this afternoon. Rex Hoggard will join us of the Golf Channel as well. We're live in Hamilton at the RBC Canadian Open. It's a beautiful afternoon now. It
was garbage on the way up here. Now it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful. We just saw David Hearn roll through. We saw Adam Hadwin. We're bothering people, right? We've been here for a few hours. We're bothering people. And if anyone wants to come through 13, the Rink Hole, we'll bother you. And if you give us a response, because we can be bought easily, all you got to do is acknowledge us, and we're your biggest fan. But if you turn on us, we'll bury you for the rest of the week.
That's right.
Yes,
We'll never cheer for
simple.
you. We'll never pick you in our selections.
No, it's very petty.
And we'll always, when we're watching you, root for it to miss.
Yes.
Every
Very
time.
vindictive, very
Fluff,
immature.
Was it Fluff that gave the thumbs up?
Yeah. Fluff.
Is he still hack
I don't think he smokes darts anymore.
Are you allowed, if you're a caddy, to hack a dart on the course?
I'm pretty sure they get away with it.
I'll tell you what, Fluff's no kid anymore. CT Pan could have told him to stay back at the hotel today and carried his own luggage around here.
Like CT, man. Grab a push cart and start
CT
moving.
is young and in shape.
Yeah.
Get a different guy. Let Fluff rest.
Fluff should be operating Thursday through Sunday.
That's his only go days. He's
Yeah.
like just a stallion. He's just got to be let out of the barn on Thursday, and he goes back in on Sunday.
I saw CT Pan hit a driver off 11 into the wind, and like it barely made it to that 11's the toughest hole in the course. Yeah? It is a beast of a par 4. And it's the difference between a guy who can hit it 300 and a guy that can hit it 360.
Yeah.
Like Rory will just launch golf balls off that and have 7 irons in, and some guys are going to have hybrids in, 3 irons in, 2 irons in.
The times I played here in the last year, I met a good buddy of mine, Joe, that plays here. Like, there's stories. He'll tell me clubs, and he's like, Rory hits a 3-wood there.
He hit a 3-wood there in 19.
That's right.
He hit a 3-wood off there
9
over the tree
or something.
3-wood
it's just something stupid.
It's absurd.
Like, that's absurd.
It's absurd how he hits the golf ball. All right, hour 2 coming up. Mike Johnson will join us back into the Stars winning last night, teeing up Game 4. Florida Rangers tonight. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.